Welcome back to LTR Gaming, and I'm Troy. In this particular video, I would like to talk about the Xbox Series S. While I don't have an Xbox Series S in my home at this particular moment, I want to talk a little bit about it. I want to talk about that particular SKU of the next generation of gaming. If you're looking for high fidelity, high frame rates, native 4K, you're going to want to go with the Xbox Series X. But the S is obviously a cheaper, lower tier version of the Xbox Series X. And I get it. There's a market for people who just want to get the console when they're home, right? They have young children. 4K isn't a priority, long as it's the next best shiny thing, and normally kids will be cool with that. But I have some concerns. Even though I won't be getting the S, I will be getting the X. I'm wondering, what will this console be able to do with the games that will be made natively for the Xbox Series X with the next gen horsepower that comes along with it? Because you know, with the S, you're not going to get 4K. With the S, you're not going to get, true high fidelity, 120, frames per second. You're not going to get any of that. So I'm just concerned about what happens 2 years from now when a gamer buys one. Is it still going to be able to compete? But what I won't do is not be considerate of the unfortunate people out there who are living check to check, who are on unemployment, who cannot afford either console. So this Xbox Series S coming in at $299, I think is a win-win for those people at the end of the day. And most of the time, those people that are living check to check, they got young children and they're into gaming too. And they ought to have those same experiences that us gamers, older gamers who have, extra cash or expendable cash can afford. I'm going to get both consoles at some point in time when they come available. But at the same time, there's people out there who are going without. And due to the fact that we're in this situation economically in this country, I was kind of surprised that we even had a higher SKU of either console, and that they were starting at $499. But the fact that Microsoft thought about, let's get people who have been on board with us since the last generation, and to get them in easy, right? And not to break their wallets at this particular moment. I think overall it's a win-win for gamers at the end of the day. I'm not saying that Sony didn't think of it either, but Sony doesn't have a $299 console, right? So, I think we should really tip our hats to Microsoft. Overall, I really think that the Xbox Series S is not going to do as hot as people think it's going to do maybe 2 or 3 years down the line. Remember, Sony made a statement maybe a month ago about the fact that they don't believe in these 2 SKU systems at one time for the general public to actually get. Now, you can say, well, Sony's doing it too with the PS5 digital and the PS5 that plays the actual games on disc. But what you're not understanding is that the hardware in both SKUs of those systems are the same. They're pretty much equivalent. You're just going digital with one console, right? And you're going physical with the other. Whereas with the S, you're going physical, you're going digital, but it doesn't have the same components and guts inside of it. So, my thing is, when Elder Scrolls 6 drops, while you'll still be able to play it on the S, wouldn't you want to play it at its highest fidelity, at its highest settings where the game was meant to be played at? Me personally, at this particular moment, and I'm only speaking for myself, if I'm going to get a console, I want the top tier of the console. I'm cool with my Nintendo Switch, but there's only one version of this. Well, actually 2 versions. You have the Nintendo Switch and you have the Nintendo Switch Lite, right? Which you can't dock. But the components are pretty much equivalent. And when the next Nintendo Switch iteration comes out, it's going to be more powerful than the one that's currently out. I'm going to want to get that one because I'm going to want to play it and see it at its highest fidelity and play it with the highest frame rates with the best graphics. That's just me. So I'm very, very interested to see where this market falls in the fold of the ecosystem of the gaming industry within 2 years. You know, are you going to get an updated version of the S? Like, you going to get an S Pro or something like that? I don't think Microsoft is going to do that. And I think they more than most likely came out with this console because they knew folks were on a budget, right? At the end of the day, folks are on a budget. You know, it's cheap. It's $100 cheaper than the PlayStation 5 digital, which is $399. This is $299. So they might have just made this console for folks who are going through hard times. You know, we're dealing in some essences of a recession to some degree. You know, jobs are not readily available. Unemployment rates are still high. Folks are a large populace of Americans that are still on, you know, workman's comp. I'm not sure how it is in other parts of the world, but I know here we're not doing economically as savvy as we once were before the pandemic. But, you know, leave your comment below. Let me know what you think about the Xbox Series S. Would you even entertain getting it? And even if you did get it, do you see yourself eventually upgrading to the Xbox Series X at a later time? Anyway, guys, I'm Troy. This is LTR Gaming. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video. Until next time, peace.